Let's talk. Talk about the things that mean so much to you and me. Let's talk.
And here's your host, Henry Benefield.
Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting program of Let's Talk. As you just heard, I'm Henry Benefield, and I'm glad to see you. As usual on Let's Talk, we try to bring pertinent information so you can learn something from it. And as usual, write down, get your pens everybody, because the information we're going to bring today is going to be very important, and you definitely do need to know. Listen, there are some exciting places in Cincinnati that we're introducing you to today that you definitely need to know about. Some of you may already know about them and that they exist, but there are a lot of people who do not know that they exist. And I was one of the people, when I found out about these two organizations, I was very, very elated to ask them to be on the program. My very first guest is Dewan and Tim Moore, They are, I'm going to let them give you their positions because I don't want to say it out of order, but they're definitely founders of Hamilton County Math and Science Academy. This is a wonderful place, and I was just amazed at all of the information that came out of this particular academy, and I felt that you guys should know. Everybody, welcome Mr. and Mrs. Moore to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is such a pleasure to have you. I tell you, when our program director, Leslie Calhoun, brought the information about the academy, I was just really, really impressed. But so that a lot of people do know who you are, please tell us, Tim, what is the Science and the Academy?
Well, I better put that over to Mrs. Moore. She started the school
and
with
she is
The principal
Principal superintendent.
Yes.
And I apologize. And you are the
school director.
School director.
Yes.
So even though you guys are the founders and everything of this particular academy, you guys are intricately working within the organization itself. Awesome.
Okay, well, you know what, Mr. Benefield, I think a lot of people think that, but actually we were founded by it was some educators, two prominent educators, and you may know one of them.
Okay.
Grace Mangrum.
Yes.
Okay, you know her?
Yes,
You might know another one.
Yes, okay.
Her name was Emily Spicer.
Wow.
And they were founders of our school.
But,
Okay.
I think the thing is you guys have been there so long.
I know.
We
Everybody thinks so.
we just started,
Yes.
and then a lot of times when you're on television or doing the interviews and stuff, they never go back to who founded the
Right.
academy. Right. So I'm glad we got that out there. Wow.
Yeah.
So tell us, what is this academy?
Well, it was founded originally, it was supposed to be a K-4 academy, but it was originally created because children were not doing well on proficiency scores at the time.
Wow.
That's when proficiency tests were out.
Yes.
And so they felt that African Americans weren't doing well on them, and so they would come in with a different approach.
Sure.
We started with 60 kindergartners, and then we added a grade each year. When we got to the 4th grade, parents said, oh no, you got to keep going.
Wow.
Okay, so we kept going.
Wow.
And now people are saying we're K-8, and so now they think that we need to keep going to high school. But that's another story and another chapter.
And I guess the intricate part about this is that it's in subjects that folks feel very difficult.
Oh, yes.
Math, science, and I tell you, all of the different things that we need in school, they'll push towards music, they'll push towards, accounting, all those different things. So for your academy, you have a really important thing that you guys teach.
Yes.
So, tell us a little bit about that. How did you decide to make those two choices versus the general, what everyone else goes to?
Mrs. Magrum's push and her drive was to expose kids early to math and science, so they wouldn't, especially young men, they wouldn't feel that math and science, it wasn't good to do or to get good grades in math and science. So by exposing them early, give them the confidence and the ability to say, this is what I want to do. So currently right now we've got young people graduating from college, and we're proud to say that we had a young man that started in that class of 60.
Wow.
And his sister and other children, but these two young people, they went down to North Carolina A&T University, and he's graduated this year. Probably next week, they're graduating, and the young man is an engineer.
Sure.
And he's already got a job with AT&T.
Wow, wow. And you know, I guess because I'm, you know, being a product of a Cincinnati Public Schools, you know, having just basic math is important. But until you really leave those schools, you never realize how important math really is.
Yes.
It's really everything.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, math
It's
is-
really everything.
Right.
And then that kind of knowledge is not really passed on to some students, but there's an emphasis from your Academy of Math and Science. Let's go to the math. Tell me, how do you guys really game plan this where the kids get it when the general public schools, you know, it's really hard because I know coming up in public school, math was a subject that 99% of us hated, you know, but with your success rate, and that comes with the information on your academy, is amazing. How do you guys kind of focus in to make them, obviously they like it, but I mean, tell us a little bit. I know you don't have to give the whole spiel, but tell us a little bit.
Well, I think the culture of the school and kids want to come to school to learn.
Okay.
And then our curriculum, you know, is very child friendly. It's very parent friendly. I know when my children in school, they brought home things, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
know, we try to make sure that it is friendly to the parent as well as the child.
Wow.
And that's
so you're
one of the
teaching
things.
too.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Basically, you are because you know, if parents, you know, we are one of the schools that we do homework every night, just about every night.
Sure.
And so we want the parents to really to share in that experience.
Yeah.
And so you know, they have to buy in to make sure that their children are successful, and therefore that makes the school successful. So you know, it goes both ways. We get help from the parents. We have great parents.
Wow.
They're very supportive, and the kids really get into our curriculum.
Is there a requirement to attend the
No.
Math and Science Academy?
No.
There isn't.
No.
So you can say that the parent is concerned about little Dewan,
Yes.
Chantel,
Yes.
Tamantre,
Yes.
and I'm using African American names,
Yes, yes.
and they're afraid that they're going to flunk, but they understand they have to really have an education, and they send them to you. And do you have are you sometimes confronted with the kids that says, I don't like math, I don't want
No, we get off the ground running early.
Okay.
The kids, technology is another piece
Sure.
of our focus, and the it's academic sports. We
Sure.
have a sports program and
Wow.
everything. But technology here today, students, they have to do a lot with technology.
Sure, absolutely.
Our students have to take all the assessments on computer.
Right.
And that starts in the
Wow.
third grade. They have to be ready to go.
Third grade?
Third grade. They have to be ready to
Wow.
type in their ideas and put it in the computer. And they have to be able to do all the logins, all the round drags and all of that. And it has to start in kindergarten.
Wow.
And they have to understand. And a lot of kids, they can pick up an iPad. It's really a cell phone is a computer, basically.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
they have to be able to transfer what they know on the keyboard into that computer. So they're able to do that early. So a lot of kids are off the ground running early.
Wow.
Especially in kindergarten, we have computers in their classroom, and they get that early exposure. You know, I think a lot of times our students, that's where they kind of falter a little bit because they don't get the exposure to things. And so we want to expose them as much as we can to all kind of things because we deal with the whole child.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's very important now because there's so many other things that they can get into, but we want to make sure to let them know. And we kind of, Mr. Moore and myself, we kind of butted heads about sports a little bit because I'm thinking, you know, you have to have a great education.
Absolutely.
Even before you you know, bounce a ball or whatever.
Absolutely.
So that to
manage
me,
your money?
yes, to manage everything. So, you know, we start from the ground up running. You know, the school is a heavy, we have a heavy curriculum. And, you know, we let parents know that coming in, you know, we're about education. And so, you know, our focus, and we do field trips, we do all kind of things, you know, but we want to let them know the learning can be fun, but we are serious about education.
Wow. So your format is not necessarily local, but global.
Right.
Global.
Yes.
Preparing them for the world.
Yes.
Technology opens all that up.
Wow. And that's amazing because we do have a lot of facilities that teach as well. And I guess because when I look at things like math and science, that's something that you don't just have to do in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
If you in Dubai and you have the ability, I mean, accounting is still accounting.
That's right.
You know, or math is still math. To take those skills there, you can be successful there as well. Or science, you know, I mean, we're going to go to science in just a little bit because I think this is probably one of the subjects that, when I was coming up, was the least popular.
Oh, yes.
In schools. But yet we're finding there's so much talent within our community that are interested in science. I mean, amazing. I could go back and tell you now, now that I'm at my age, all the great black scientists that have existed that unfortunately we never hear of. So to go and recognize that you guys have at least an emphasis on something that's not a regular normal emphasis in other academies and stuff. So I mean, let's go back and talk a little bit more about math, because I think it is such an important talent that you have to have as far as being alive, period, and the many genres that it will cover to make you successful. There are a lot of successful accountants. I mean, tax folks, and that's all math. You know, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Engineers, I mean, that's seems to be
numbers,
the thrust of the curriculum that we have is accelerated curriculum. I mean, our students, some finish out in algebra track, finish in 8th grade in algebra. And some have tested out in geometry in high school. So they've left our school and have tested out in high schools on the geometry level and the algebra level. So they're able to take calculus once they get out of school, which and it puts them in the arena to be engineers. Girls and boys. So
and even with our foreign language, from kindergarten on up, they take Spanish. Everybody takes Spanish.
Right, the whole school.
The whole school.
Now, is that an extra cost for a parent?
No, it's in our curriculum.
Regular curriculum.
You know, and so, you know, as we see the melting pots coming, and, you know, we just need to be prepared, and they love it, you know, kindergartners and, you know, on up. And all of even in our science fair, kindergartners do a science project. When you walk in our science fair, you'll see over 600-something science projects. Because that's what they do.
Wow. Everybody, we're talking about the Hamilton County Math and Science Academy, which we have not the founders, but the people that took the torch and kept on burning.
That's right. There you go.
And we'll pass the torch on to someone else to keep on burning. And one of the reasons we brought this program, our guest coordinator brought these wonderful folks, I'm getting a little tongue-tied on it, because we need to know that there's alternatives out there other than the regular, where it's limited what you get for your kids. I mean, this place is such a wonderful, wonderful place. And we think about math, we think about sciences, those are general areas that most people don't go into. But to have it available here in Cincinnati, Ohio is a phenomenal thing. And with an emphasis of at least trying to help some African American students go to another level than just basic education. So let's go back to Mr. and Mrs. Moore and ask them a little bit more information about the science. Mr. and Mrs. Moore, let's talk about the science part of your academy. We expound a little bit on the math. What about the science? Because some people may go, ooh, science, you know. Why is this a part of your curriculum?
Well, I'll just go from the facility part. We added a science lab. We have I would say a high school science lab.
Now, were you a science teacher?
No.
Okay, because you look like you can blow up something.
No, we added a science lab to support the science aspect of the school, and we have the latest technology in the microscopes. And I say the technology blends in. We've got the school is totally Wi-Fi and experiments to give the kids a chance to do
dissections,
hands-on experiments right there in the school. Down to we started the 2nd grade level in the science lab. So I mean, we give them a chance to visit the science lab, go in the science lab, and actually do experiments related to the curriculum.
And even when you see kindergarten, they're going to the aquarium as a field trip, because we believe in educational field trips, so they can kind of expand their mind to see what actually, you know. It is some fun in seeing science. You know, it's beautiful, you know, and they really enjoy it, and then they get into it. So, you know, like I said, you might see us dissecting some things, you know, and kids get into that. But, you know, they love it. So we want to, like I said, the exposure to different things, and we want them to see what it's all about. I
Absolutely.
think a lot of times people don't like things because they've never have experienced
them.
it.
Absolutely.
So they need to experience some things.
Wow.
Do I like dissections? I'm like, ugh, but the kids love it.
Wow.
You know, so we want to make sure that they get that exposure and to look into a microscope, to look into a telescope.
Wow.
Remember when they had the eclipse? We had them look. You know, it was an experience that they will never forget.
Wow, wow. And it taps into that mind of imagination.
Oh, sure.
Because so many things came out of inquisitive minds. You know, all the most recent cancer treatments, the different forms of diagnosis and things to recognize something that's in someone, to say, let's do this, let's do that. It's not just drugs all the times, you know, but there are many ways. Scientists, like you talk about the moon, how scientists are analyzing the moon rocks. I heard there's some type of a gas that's in it that can be an energy gas that's on the moon. And I'm like, what? The scientists analyzed the rock to understand that they expel that gas. It's an endless source of energy.
It's just like things growing. You know, just having them do a garden. Or just do look at temperatures or different things. It's so, science is such a big part of ecosystem.
That's the word.
Yes.
It's a very interesting subject.
Yes.
And I think one of the things that's nice, if children are interested in something, it takes their interest from other things and puts it on the right things. So science, and you know, like I was in music as well as you were a musician, because music was an intricate part of who I was at a very young age, I didn't have time to do the crazy stuff. You know, I wanted to learn how to sing on note, how to, you know, write dance, choreography, all those kind of things. So these kind of subjects are major importance because it really taps to the core of what's in some of the students. I'm sorry, go ahead, guys.
And our emphasis too is exposing them early to science.
Yes.
Now our science curriculum is kindergarten through 8th grade, and they have to. It just elevates itself as it moves forward. But kids are exposed to that in kindergarten.
Sure.
Curriculum science based. So I mean, it's something to, and they really take a hold of it really well.
Wow. And like you said, it's a good foundation. And there's an old, and I know this is not a religious program, but there's an old scripture that says to bring up a child in the way that they should go, that when they become older, they will not depart from it. And starting at that young age, what a powerful tool to implant within this child, to at least inspire them. Not that you have to be very stringent on keeping them on the right path, but those subjects will keep them on the right path because they have a great interest. I mean, I have loved science when I was in school. Didn't like math, but I think if I would have started at an earlier age with great teachers like at the academy to inspire you, say, oh, you can get this, or is this, yes, that's it, good. And the next time is not as hard, and it becomes easier and easier. Location, where is Hamilton County Math and Science Academy?
We're in Colerain Township.
Colerain Township, what's the
Colerain
address?
Township, we're at 2675 Civic Center Drive.
2675
Civic
Center Drive. How about a telephone number, Mrs. Moore?
728 8620.
8620. One more time, Mr. Moore. What's the address?
2675 Civic Center Drive.
And
728 8620.
now, do we have a website for this academy?
Yes, it's at www.hcmsa.net.
Wow.
NET.
One more time, because I tell all my folks to bring pencils and pieces of paper.
Okay, www.hcmsa.net.
Wow. Awesome. You guys are celebrating 20 years of existence?
Next year will be 20 years.
Wow, so you've been existing for 19.
19, next year will be the 20th year.
And the future plans for the academy are?
Well, to add some more facilities, some more classroom space. We have a 15-acre campus.
Wow.
And we have a room to grow.
Wow.
And
Because we have very small class sizes, and so we can get up to 25. But you know, one of the things that is attractive of our academy because we do have small class sizes, and we do a lot of things that we start like the field trips and different other things. We have different fellowship things, what we call community things that we get our family. We call ourselves our family. So we get ourselves together. Like we have the mother-daughter banquet. We have the father and son banquet or dinner. We're gonna, we have different things all the time. So we can come together as, as a fellowship and as a family. So as a community. So we want to make sure that everybody gets to know each other. The kids know each other, a lot of them. They stay from K all the way up to 8th grade. And so, parents want us to go 9 through 12, but no, we're going to stay and do
At this point,
we're going to, because a lot of our students, when they leave our academy, they go to like private schools, and like they get full rides at private schools. Like we had 3 young ladies, they got just about a full scholarship to Purcell Marion.
Wow.
And then they get, we have 5 gentlemen that is at St. X. They are one of our partners of education.
Wow.
So we have a lot, Crystal DePaul, they're our partners. So we try to make sure we network so they can find the right fit for where they want to go to high school.
Wow, how awesome.
Yeah, we want to continue to enhance the curriculum, expose the students to the challenges, everyday challenges, and they take it well. They do well. They're very well behaved. We've got some kids who are very focused.
Mr. Moore, I can tell that your kids are quite mannerable.
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. And we want them to be.
Of course.
Respectful to
they've got to be ordered.
Great parent support, and they give us the support. And our belief is that we want to give them the opportunity to be successful from the kindergarten through 8th grade, which will prepare them for high school and beyond.
Sure. And you're mentioning the parents, and I think this is one of the difficult things for a lot of teachers in the Cincinnati Public School is an inclusive of the parents and the students. And you guys do this quite well by making them a part from the beginning all the way to the completion of whenever they're going to graduate. Let's talk about that a little bit, because a lot of times it is very difficult to get some parents to be active in the roles of their kids, and you guys are doing it quite well.
Right. Parent support is not always being visible.
Okay.
Parent support, it can be that great parent behind the scenes. They don't always have to be in the school all the time. A parent can be, when I make a phone call home to a parent and bring it to their attention that their child needs more direction or more support, the next day that child comes back and they have that.
Sure.
That's parent support. Parent support
and
is
grandparent
support. And we need that more, because that support will give that child that foundation that they need to get through anything.
And I think the children help us out a lot too, because they're excited in what they do. And so they bring out their parents. Their parents line up to come in to see things, to see our science fair. They line up to come in to see our Black History program.
Wow.
And so we had to make it for 2 days because it was so crowded that, we thought we'd be closed down from the fire people. But we wanted to make sure that we got everybody in and everybody enjoyed seeing it. So, the kids are excited about it. So they their parents are more involved with that. So parents want to come in and see, and we want them to come in and see and see what great things that their children have done and have accomplished. So, it goes both ways. If the children are excited, the parents get excited. Wow. It's the culture of our school and how we kind of present it. People think our kids wear uniforms, but when people come in, they think it's like a Catholic type setting, but it's not. We are a community charter school, public school. A lot of people think we are not ran by a management company. We are one of the last of the mom and pop charter schools that have survived, and we just keep on plugging at it and try to get it right. We're not saying we're perfect, but we want to give the children the best that we can give them.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Starting, and I know you guys are getting ready to go on summer break.
Yay!
Really and truly, never break.
Well, let me say this: the children are about to go on summer break, and I know there's someone listening. We're going to give the address again, but if someone is very interested in getting their kids into Hamilton County Math and Science Academy, what should they do?
they should call our school.
Okay.
And that's the number 728-8620. And then our person, she's so nice and
Enrollment
sweet.
coordinator.
Our enrollment coordinator will help them out.
Wow, how awesome. Well, congratulations on 19 leading up to 20 years, Mr. and Mrs. Moore. It has been such a pleasure to have you here on the program. And anytime you have an event that's going on at the school, please give us a call.
We will.
And let us know so you guys can come back on.
you.
Is it too late for me to get in class?
A little too late.
Except you might have to keep the frog. I tell you, it's been such a pleasure to talk to you, and I thank, again, our guest coordinator for inviting you to be on the program. We're always interested in positive things that's happening in the community. This is such an exciting information, I'm sorry for getting tongue-tied, to know about the Hamilton County Math and Science Academy. I was really impressed when I read the information on the school, and I want to say congratulations to both of you
Thank you.
for the
Thank you.
work that is being done. Keep up the good work, because when I see intelligent young people, we know this is not an exclusive African American school, but there's a lot of African Americans that attend the school. That get a really good education, which empowers them to be great citizens and just great people. So again, thank you on behalf of all of us.
We thank
Thank
you.
you.
And please
for
come
inviting
back
us.
again.
Oh, we will.
Oh,
My
yeah.
pleasure. All right.
Thank you.
Good. So everybody, I am going to talk about a couple of updates that are going to be coming in when it comes to the actual performances of some things that are going to be going on, while my second guests are going to be coming on the program. Listen, just want to let you know that on July the 29th at the Quinn Chapel AME Church, the 100 Plus African American Men's Course is putting a program on called Legends of Music. What does that mean? Many times there are musicians that play within these different churches and organizations that never get recognition. Some play for 50 years, some play for 60 years, some play for even less than that. This is an opportunity, and it's an instrumental program honoring some of the musical legends in the city of Cincinnati. So it's going to take place again on July the 29th at 5 p.m. at the Quinn Chapel AME Church, that's in Forest Park. You definitely want to keep this date down because it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's free to the program. There is no charge for attending this program. But it gets you an opportunity. There's also a musical concert. So you'll get a chance to see and hear all of these phenomenal musicians throughout the city of Cincinnati. There was an extensive list, and we found out we're probably going to have to repeat it because there's so many great musicians in Cincinnati. Guess what? We're probably going to have to do it twice. I'm repeating myself. But the first ones are definitely going to be exciting that you will see. And then secondly, I want to say on December the 9th, of 2018, the 100 Plus African American Men's Chorus will be in concert in our annual benefit concert at the Allen Temple AME Church. A lot of people have attended from year to year to year. At this point, we have sent over 500 students on the Black College Bus Tour. Write this date down. It is always the second Sunday in December that we're going to be having the benefit fundraiser for the 100 Plus African American Men's Course. As usual, it promises to be a great event, and as usual, without you, it would not be a success. Again, this is open to the public. It's free. There's no charge. All the proceeds, or the proceeds that we get, go towards sending underprivileged African American youth on the Black College Bus Tour. So what happens is, rather than those kids ended up in a place where there's no hope, or they're doing some things that's really going to cause them to pay dearly when it comes to their lives, we try to encourage them to invest in their gifts and their talents by sending them on the Black College Bus Tour, especially when they have those kind of scores and things that are really, really high that actually will get them scholarships and many, many other things like that. Okay? So that's all I got to say. So I think I have my other guests on the program right now. And I just want to thank you guys again for all your emails and all of the different things that you guys send us, because it is always a joy to actually hear and see you on the street and get those different emails from you. So I have a gentleman on that's our second guest, and as well as his son is going to join us a little bit later, but I wanted to talk to him first. His name is Troy Holmes. He's founding a new, I want to say academy or school as well. It is an academy. And I don't want to say the name of it because I think it's Levelin, which is named after two very important people, Leveland Academy. It's going to be starting in the building where the Sentinel, which is the black police officers of the city of Cincinnati, which is downtown, and it's a trade school. And I wanted to congratulate him. It's going to be opening up very, very soon. And I wanted him to come on the program, first of all, to talk about how exciting this is. He does have a mission and a purpose to be able to bring to us in Cincinnati for this academy. Everybody, please welcome Mr. Troy Holmes, Sr., to the program. Hey, man.
Hey, how you
doing? How are you? Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Man, great work on this new academy.
Yes.
Tell us, what is Leveland Academy? What is that?
Leveland Trade Academy is a veteran-based facility which will teach professional painting, drywall, carpentry, flooring, and also handyman services to teens, young adults.
Wow.
Ages 13 to 27 starting out.
Wow. And I guess this is interesting because we just had a school that has more of the academic style program. Now you're coming in and you're saying that there's now a trade that an individual can have by coming to Leveland Trade Academy. Let's talk about why it's important for students to not only have academic education, but trade education as well.
Well, trade education is very important in this day and age because everyone is not college material.
Exactly.
Everyone is not military material, which I've been both. So with the combination, it is so much easier to eat in the trade field. You become self-sufficient. You're not worried about if there's work out there in reference to going and clocking in on a job.
Certainly.
Yes.
And so it teaches them to be self-employed if they choose.
Yes.
Or to work for an agency where they can get the kind of income that is, at least sustain them to have adequate living.
Yes.
Transportation and things like that.
Correct.
I think we should really talk a little bit more because some parents or some people will think that the only way to be successful in life is with an academic education. And so to talk to someone like you that sees the value of trade when it comes to young people, I think we should really let it be out there so people know that this is just as important as an accountant or mental psychology. I mean, there's so many different degrees you can get in an accredited academic school. But I remember when I was coming up, and I'm talking a little bit long, we had things in school that helped a lot of professionals today, like the wood shop, mechanics, home economics. I mean, there were so many things, little things that when we were younger, that we were invested in that today gave us those skills. So I really want to expound on the trades, talk about the benefits that these things can have for young people by attending the school to empower them with their gifts and talents.
First of all, having trade knowledge on the forefront helps you in your own personal manner, in your own home, okay? So take, for instance, for yourself, just say you were eligible to come to the school. We teach you handyman services, how to repair your own toilet.
Okay, I'm glad you said handyman, sir.
Yes, and
now you notice we didn't say plumber; we said handyman service, so you can repair your own toilet. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Whether in your home, a family member's home, it is so much of a money-saving situation. Most of your plumbers come out. They'll charge you $250, $60 to repair a toilet.
Certainly.
If you already know how to do it, all it takes is material. So knowledge is powerful. The more trades that you learn, the more valuable you are.
Well,
the more of an asset you are. The gentleman who taught me down at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, he told me when I first started working for him, I was just a painter. And he said, Troy, if you listen to me and do everything that I tell you to do, the way I tell you to do it, he said, you'll never starve. He said, your stomach might growl, but you'll never starve. And I continue to learn the trades because in the wintertime, a painter, you're gonna get hungry. You will become hungry. But if you know how to build a wall, if you know how to put drywall on that wall, trim that wall out, paint that wall. See, you're talking 3 trades in one setting. you know, and it's so important that the quality of your work stands out more than anything.
Wow, wow. And you know, I think a lot of positions call for a lot of mental education, but to have the physical skills. And when I say physical skills, because you really have to have a craft to put up drywall. It's not as easy as some people think.
Correct.
Or sanding or taping. I mean, it's really important, and when it's done very, very well, everyone seeks the person that drywalls very well.
Yes,
I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
Yes, drywalling is, the hanging part of it is the easier part.
Sure.
The finishing part is the hardest part.
Absolutely.
Yes. Even with the painting, you know, a lot of people will say, hey, I've painted a bedroom in the house. But did you paint that bedroom on a professional level or on a do-it-yourselfer level? See, we're going to build professionals at Leveland Trade Academy. We're going to build workers. Individual has the opportunity to come there and learn and be a worker, an instructor, or a business owner. Because once they get the criteria, we will allow them to go through our entrepreneurship program.
Wow.
Which we will teach them how to do state filing, how to do their own payroll, you know, just everything about running your own business we will give them.
Wow. So this is more of not only skills and crafts, but empowerment as well.
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry, go
We
ahead.
want to empower each individual. A lot of the individuals that are set up to attend the school, some of them have a little, you know, squeak, you know, records are a little squeaky.
Certainly.
But when you come to Leveland, your slate is clean with me. You know, I will know your background, but I will not use that against you in any type of way. So.
And then I think, you know, that we can definitely address that, because in many cases there is some economic discrimination that comes out because you've had a past history where some people made mistakes and it holds them from getting into whatever position. These kind of positions actually empower the individual to determine their success or failure.
Yes.
You're simply saying when they come into Leveland Trade Academy, you're not concerned about their past, you're concerned about their present and their future.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, so go ahead.
Yes, sir. I was just going to say that most of the individuals that I have spoken with, they feel like there's nothing out there for them.
Wow.
You know, especially your felons. Leveland Trade Academy is a second chance program.
Wow.
I will deal with felons, violent and nonviolent. All felons will be determined on a case-by-case basis. You know, if you committed a crime 10 years ago and it was a heavy crime, I'll just say that, we'll still consider you. You know, everyone's eligible until the final say-so with the determining committee. A felon going to try to get a job is like someone trying to go get a trade job and never been trained. You know, you don't have a chance. You don't know anything, but they're not going to let you in as a felon. But with this program, if you are a felon and you go through the entrepreneurship program, no one has to know that you're a felon. You know, if you present yourself in a professional manner, and let me say this, Leveland Trade Academy will have a hint of military bearing. We're building professionals, integrity, tenacity, teaching individuals, which my son will be more in depth with, as far as character development. You know, so everyone that you walk up to and you meet their representative.
Certainly.
You don't know that real person until down the road at some point. So what we're doing, we just want to build characters, you know, build character in individuals and let them know that we are the big brothers. We are the mentors. You know, this is a ministry to help build their interiors and their intestinal fortitude so they can continue in life and not make the bad choices because they don't know anything. It's just a lack of education. Knowledge is power.
Yes, applied knowledge is power.
Yes, sir.
The interesting part, character, which sometimes people can teach surface.
Yes.
But they start from the fruit and try to develop it. But you're starting at the root.
Yes,
a
sir.
very interesting perspective when you talk about character. And I know I've worked in corporate America for many, many years. And one of the things, regardless of what position you hold, a lot of people do business based upon the character of the individual they're dealing with.
Yes.
You know, well, why do I like her? I like him.
Yes.
Or I like them.
Yes.
And let's just talk about that, because I think that's something they're probably not going to get in some places. I think it's just book sense in some places,
Yes.
rather than development of the whole student
Yes.
or whole individual to be not only a good worker, but to have character. The lack of character produces some negativities, regardless of how good they are,
Exactly.
that they're destined to
Exactly.
fail.
Yes.
You know, so I mean, let's talk about a character, because, and why you chose to be out of the norm for training the students that come to the trade academy.
Well, I started painting at the age of 13 years old.
Wow.
Gentleman whose grass, and I would mow his lawn in the summer and shovel his snow in the wintertime. I did it for about 4 or 5 years, from the age of, started about 8 years old doing it. And one particular day he said, "Hey Troy, would you like to learn how to paint?" Sure, we're looking to train someone. Now this is where my vision came from what he did for me.
Wow.
That kept me out of juvenile.
Wow.
Okay, now
Wow.
I made some stupid mistakes as an adult, but
We
as
all
a
have.
kid, it kept me clean and out of the way.
Focused.
So I was able to learn this trade, and you know, a lot of the guys I grew up with we played ball together, but I didn't hang out. You know, I was working,
Wow.
going
Wow.
to school,
Wow.
you know, and some athletics, you know, so this gives individuals an opportunity when I catch them early, if I can get them early.
Like our previous guests, they started
Yes.
kindergarten, so they started with the youth.
I'm starting out at 13 years old.
Wow.
Yes. So
Wow.
I learned how to paint at 13. I contracted my first job at 18 when he was first born.
Wow. Wow.
Actually-
And we're going to have him on in just a
Yes.
moment, which is your son. I'm going to ask him to get ready, because we're going to bring him onto the set.
Yes.
But, you know, starting at 13 years old, you know, tell me, man, because a lot of parents are trying to figure out, we know what happens at 13 with a lot of men, and there are women as well, so I'm certainly not trying to disregard the women, but I did heard you specifically speak of men. We know the mindset of 13-year-olds, and tell us, man, how that, the whole focus of having something like that to do changed you. I could testify, but I want people to hear. Now you're founding an academy.
Yes.
A trade academy based upon something that happened to you
Yes, sir.
at a very young age.
Yes, sir.
So tell us, how does that feel? I mean, how did that impact you to be able to turn into the man that you are today?
First of all, dropping back to a military perspective, when you go to basic training in the military, those drill sergeants, they make you feel that big. But when you leave and you graduate from basic training, you could take on the world.
Wow.
And that's what I want to empower these individuals with, to be able to take on the world.
Wow.
And with the trades that they'll learn, they'll be able to use them
Exactly.
anywhere in the world, not just in
Exactly.
the United States, not just
Exactly.
in Ohio, not just in
Exactly.
Cincinnati. This is a worldwide. You can go anywhere
Wow.
on earth and work.
That is true. That is
So,
true.
you know, it is such it is so gratifying. It's a blessing that I was able to learn the skills that I have learned. You know, the good Lord gave it to me. You know, yes, it took me to listen. You know, because I've always thought that people can pray, the Lord will bless you from the heavens, but you have to do your groundwork down here on earth.
Faith without works is
Yes, yes, sir. So to empower a young individual and allow them to feel, you know, someday I can work for Homes by Troy, which is my personal
Wow.
contracting company.
dead. Wow.
Okay, or
So when you say Homes by Troy, that you're able to build a house from ground up?
well, I am not building houses. We're doing more remodeling and
Remodeling,
enhancing.
okay, okay.
Okay. Now, if one wants to go into, we will get into the building part of
Certainly,
houses down the
certainly,
road.
eventually.
Down the road.
Yeah.
But Homes by Troy is a contracting business. We do a lot of remodeling in Kentucky and Ohio. I've done a lot in Georgia. They can
Sure.
work for my company, or if they're just that good and I can sense and feel and in my heart and soul know that they have gotten all the criteria, they can become an instructor for Leveling Trade Academy.
Wow.
We wanted to actually bring veterans on and train them. I was going to train veterans to be the instructors of the school.
Wow.
But most veterans are adults, they need an income, and because this is a tuition-free institution, we don't have funding to pay individuals go through training.
The salaries.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
But you do take donations?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
And we'll, for those folk that can be they can call and find out more information if ever they're led. They can always inquire about anything to support your vision.
Yes.
We'll put that information on there.
Yes.
We're going to bring your son on the second, which is Tracy. Troy Holmes II.
Yes.
Onto the set right now, and I want to get from you, because as we were talking before we went on the air, the importance of passing the torch.
Yes.
So your vision is not just for today.
No.
But it's for more, right?
Yes, sir. It is. I'll say this. One day I was listening to Joel Osteen. Everybody don't care for Joel, but I like Joel. He's a feel-good preacher, and he gives you certain statements that fulfill you.
Sure.
Joel asked the question.
Forgive me. I'm just ask you. Just come on and just bring him on in, Vicky, Troy. Just come right on in with us, so that you can actually just join us. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir. Because they're waiting for me to do
Joel
this.
Joel wanted to know. He asked the congregation, "What type of legacy are you going to leave after the good Lord calls you home?"
Okay.
And this is a part of a legacy, but based upon the individuals that helped me come to this earth and this world. My grandmother, my mother.
Sure.
That's where the name Leveling came from.
Okay.
My grandmother's name was Luella. My mother's first name was Evelyn.
Wow.
So I named it Leveling.
So you know this has got to be good.
Amen.
Because you know you got two people that's got
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which will definitely get you.
Yes, sir.
So how awesome. So you have this phenomenal vision. I know this is located in the building where the Sentinel Police Department is?
Yes, 1889.
Not police department, but the police
association.
The Sentinel Police Association.
Yes.
Am I saying it right?
You are saying it correct.
Okay, and that is the organization that represents a lot of African American police officers in Cincinnati?
Yes.
Okay, and that's located on what address?
1889 Central Parkway, downtown, across the street from Ohio Means Jobs.
Oh, wow. Downtown Ohio Means Jobs.
Yes.
Well, they can send them from over there right across the street to the Trade Academy. So I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
I was just going to say that I did want to mention my partners.
Okay, please do.
Partners are Veterans Workforce Development at Ohio Jobs, Ohio Means Jobs, Habitat for Humanity, also PWC, People Working Cooperatively, Easter Seals, the Sentinel Police Division, along with, I have support ships from the Juvenile Diversion Department at the 2020 Auburn Avenue Detention Center.
How awesome.
Some of my children are coming from there.
Wow.
Some of my students, I don't want to call them children, some of my students are being referred from there to us.
Wow.
Yes.
You guys are having a grand opening. Before I get too far and bring on your son, Troy, number 2, I wanted to, you're having a grand opening. Let's talk about when is the grand opening, ribbon cutting ceremony, I think it is.
Ribbon cutting ceremony is going to be on May the 30th at 12 noon.
May the 30th at 12 noon.
Down at the facility.
At the Sentinel Association building.
Yes.
Address one more time.
1889 Central Parkway.
1889 Central Parkway. I know you have a Facebook page in case they wanted to reach out to you. What is that Facebook?
Leveling Trade Academy, Inc.
Okay, Leveling Trade Academy, Inc.
Yes.
Well, that should be easy to do.
Yes.
You know, which is really, really nice.
Yes.
And I know that, man, I was so impressed when I heard, because I've always felt that there's more talent in the community than just the set curriculum of basic higher education schools.
Yes.
You know, I remember growing up and Mr. Bob next door, he could fix everyone's car.
Yeah.
And it's because, maybe I'm a little bit older, but we couldn't go to some of the other car companies to get your car fixed.
A little expensive.
And he made enough money to take care of his family,
Right.
to eventually open up a business and a shop and all this other kind of stuff.
Right.
So I certainly do appreciate that. So I'm going to let you introduce this young man right here, who is number 2, Mr.
Yes.
Holmes, number 2, which is your son.
Yes.
I'm going to give you the pleasure of introducing everybody. This young man is on our program. This is the future of the Leveland Trade Academy right here. So please introduce him, Mr. Holmes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my mini-me, Troy Vincent Holmes II.
Hey man, welcome to the program.
Thank you, thank you.
Good to have you, man. I
Good
tell
to be
you, we're all sitting around here talking, and he told me that you're the person that works on things like character and stuff like this. So I wanted people to meet you because it's very rare that a young person of your caliber has such an awareness about character.
Correct.
Because we see so many negative images in the media
Yes.
that appear to present us as characterless, you guys as characterless young people.
Right.
So I mean, let's talk about what does it mean to be a part of a vision that your dad came up with and included you in, and you're going to carry on in the future.
Well, it definitely means a whole lot to me. When he mentioned starting this school, I had already had my own vision.
Certainly.
And, you know, when he told me that he was going to be working with young adults, troubled young adults,
Okay.
or whatever,
At risk.
at-risk adults, that kind of took heed to me because, you know, I grew up in the neighborhoods where it wasn't always safe
Okay.
at night. Or,
Okay.
you know, I've had friends that have done things that I wouldn't be caught dead doing.
Wow. Wow.
You know, so eventually I'm like, okay, this sounds pretty good. You know, I know somebody that might want to do this already before I even bought into what
Sure.
was going on.
Sure. You
When
saw
there
the
was a-
value in it before it was
right,
even
correct.
started. Okay.
So I learned some things like, of course, I started out cutting grass. I wanted to go, our thing was to go skating. Some kids, they decided to break into homes, break into
Wow.
cars and steal
Wow.
things in order to get money to do the things that we like to do as young adults and
Sure.
kids and such. But I've always been given an opportunity to do things like cut grass,
Wow.
do demolition and remodeling projects and stuff like that until eventually
Sure.
I became aware of, I paid close attention enough where I'm like, well, I'm tired of doing all the grunt work. I want to do some skilled work.
Wow.
So that made me recognize that you can become more than what people perceive you to be. Because when I walked in the door, you know, everybody else is 15, 20 years older than me. And they like, oh yeah, go get my tools. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to use your tools to learn what you're doing.
It sounds like the military. They make you feel this way.
Yeah, pretty much. So I got tired of carrying tool bags and stuff, and it made me want to learn. And then eventually, you go outside, and you know, I was always involved in the neighborhood because I like sports a lot. I grew up playing sports, basketball, football, baseball, and I talked to kids like, you know, what sports you play. That was always my first name,
Certainly.
sport. I
Which
turned
is
to
the
the
norm in our
sports. Yeah,
community.
yeah. You turn to sports, and you hear kids like, I don't play any sports. Well, what do you do?
Uh-oh.
So that was
Say
my
that
name.
again.
So what do you do?
What
then?
do you do? And I think that's the question for a lot of folks that are listening today. The kids may not be into sports or into the academic accredited schools.
Right.
But what do they do?
Exactly.
I'm sorry. So didn't mean to cut you off. Please continue.
So you know, some kids didn't have an answer for that, and I'm thinking to myself like, dang, well, we might be able to teach you something, and you can make some money
Wow.
and become bigger than what you think you can become. It's bigger than just going to work for somebody.
Wow,
It's
wow.
bigger than just that, you know, because I've always thought like when you grow up, you're supposed to go get a job and work for somebody 9 to 5 and
Sure.
come home and do house stuff.
Sure.
Nobody ever really says learn something, be the best at it, which is what that was about the only thing he could tell me was if you're gonna do something, be the best at it.
Exactly.
Give it your all and
Exactly.
do it at 110%.
Wow.
And you'll never fail.
Wow.
So I took that to heave, and I took things as far as the small things I used to do, as far as pulling nails out of a board.
Wow.
I'd be having my friends with me like, look, this is the way you can do it. It's easier, it's more efficient. Boom, 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 move on.
Wow.
Be more efficient. And that was kind of where I bought into what was going on. As far as the character goes, you get a lot of kids that don't have any confidence in themselves because they were never given any reason to have any confidence.
Certainly.
Because not everything was right in the home, or, you know, they might not have eaten.
Sure.
They might not have had a meal that night.
Sure.
Who knows? I remember I had a kid. He was walking up the street. He just asked me for $1. And I'm like, well, you just want me to give you $1, or what are you going to do for this $1?
Wow.
You know? So I was actually cutting grass. And he told me, he said, well, what you want me to do? I said, well, I want you to sweep this grass up right here into a pile and put it in this bag right here, and I'm going to go get you a glass of water so you can have a glass of water while you do it.
Wow.
So he did it. I gave him $10.
Wow.
I made $15 doing that.
Wow.
In my own house. I gave him $10 out of my pocket to do it at my house.
How awesome. How awesome.
And then he came back around more than once.
Wow.
To figure
How
out
awesome.
what he could do.
I think one of the things that's really sticking out to me about this, the Leveland Trade Academy, it's given opportunity.
Yes.
I think one time I heard the former President Barack Obama speak that it's not necessarily no talents or skills. There's a lot of talents and skills in our community. There's just a lack of opportunity. Correct. And for a person to be able to determine their destiny based upon gifts. And, you know, I speak religiously, but because there's some things that are very important to me. I believe within every individual, they have gifts. Every individual has gifts. And when you tap into those gifts, the success of that individual is limitless. Because certainly I probably can say that those trade skills that you had, it started at a very young age. It's something that you love to do, whereas some people it's a hassle. You enjoy doing what you do, like I'm sure you enjoy painting. So having that love and that zest and the proper training of understanding what excellence is, understanding what character is, because some people are excellent painters, but they lack character to be able to deal with customers.
Yes.
You know, or to have a mindset of excellence to make sure that I can get repeat customers. So kudos to Leveland Trade Academy. Let's talk about one more time where it's going to be, and also I want to find out if someone is interested in enrolling someone or a young student into the program, how can they do that? Let's talk about the date again, the grand opening, give the address and the telephone number, also your Facebook address information.
The address of the Sentinel Association, Police Association building is 1889 Central Parkway, downtown Cincinnati. The phone number to the school, if someone wants to enroll, is 513-903-8457. That's 513-903-8457. If we do not answer the phone, leave a message, we will contact you back. Also, just wanted to say that down the road, we will implement plumbing, electrical, heating and air, and horticulture. Because you can fix and repair a lot of things, but living on the land is very important.
Wow. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations. When is that date?
May 30th.
May 30th.
And we need all the support we can. Come out to sponsor a student.
You got it?
Or a veteran.
Wow. Thank you, man, for coming to the program. It's always such a pleasure to talk to everybody. You guys going to come back after year number 1?
Oh, yes.
Wow,
Yes,
how
sir.
fantastic. Again, congratulations.
Thank you,
It's
sir.
such a great opportunity to have you guys investing in other people, especially young African-American folks. Not only young African-Americans, but young Americans, period, to be able to be successful in what they do. I'll tell you, this has always been a wonderful thing because we talk about the young people in a negative sense,
The
but you
things
guys
that
actually
mean
do
so
something.
much to you and me. Let's talk.